Happy Friday, everybody. I am East Coast Weather Association meteorologist Mike Griffith. It is Friday, June 2nd, 2017. Thanks for clicking on the video for the daily forecast discussion. I'm back at it after a recent break from moving a bunch of stuff in between two apartments here locally in Charlotte. But I am going to keep you up to date on the weather across the whole United States. And right now we have this upper level disturbance up here over eastern Canada, which is really keeping things a little bit cloudier and cooler than usual from Pennsylvania up into New England. And this is going to be the case over the next day or two. Another system that we're watching down here is actually in Mexico, but it's throwing moisture up into the Gulf of Mexico and also into the Florida Panhandle. They're going to be getting a lot of rain up there in Florida. Lots of flooding from this tropical disturbance down here in the Gulf. This is an area of concern in here as far as a little bit of development. We're expecting it to maybe get some sort of circulation in here, but then the shear in this area is crazy, and it's just going to kind of shear this thing apart, so it's not going to really get well developed. All it's going to do is just have the potential to force a lot of rain up into the southeast, including Florida, over the next 2 or 3 days or so. Some more action here out in western Texas, severe thunderstorms and some shower and thunderstorm activity up here over the mountains and up into Montana, all the way up into the Rockies here in British Columbia. And we're going to have to watch this pattern here evolve over the next week or so. It's just going to be really wet here in the east coast and cooler than usual. Again, this is along our forecast with a cooler than usual and wetter than usual summer. At least that's what we can see through the middle of June anyway, and possibly even beyond. Let's take a look at the GFS forecast model here, and we can pinpoint the forecast as much as we can. Here's all that moisture from the tropical system, mainly down in Florida, getting the rain. They're going to need it because of all the forest fires down there, and that rain is going to kind of just slowly spread up into the Panhandle and spread maybe up north a little bit. But this computer model isn't handling all the moisture down here really that well. All it's doing is just throwing showers and thunderstorms across the deep south, which is likely going to be the case into the 4th of June, the next 2 days or so. But then, as we go into the 4th and the 5th, it looks like there's a disturbance that moves across New England and even into New York and Pennsylvania. This could bring some shower activity to much of the Northeast, including Philadelphia and the suburbs. And this is looking like it's late on the 4th of June, which is Sunday, and into Monday, and some heavier rain there, maybe into Hartford, maybe even the Providence, as we go into the early morning hours on the 5th, which is Monday. Continued showery and thunderstormy across the southeast from that tropical moisture that just kind of lurks there. Here's a tropical wave making its way into the Bahamas and maybe Cuba, and that system kind of just dissipates because it gets sheared apart. It doesn't really have anything to work with as far as organization goes. Bunch of areas of low pressure here at the surface across much of the southeast, remaining showery and thunderstorm. Atlanta to Charlotte, even into the deep south of Mississippi and Alabama, looking showery and thunderstorm into the 5th or so, maybe into the 6th, and it's just going to remain dreary and wet across much of the east, probably cooler than usual too. And then we're going to have to watch this little low here across the Chesapeake Bay on the 6th of June, and this is actually going to develop into a little coastal low, and this is going to keep things interesting here off the East Coast. Looks like another front moves through here into the upper plain states. Some severe weather possible into Nebraska and Kansas, even West Texas, as it remains unsettled across much of the nation's heartland. And still, Florida is going to be getting pounded with storms and rain. And even New Orleans here as we head into the 7th of June, early in the 7th of June, remaining unsettled here across much of the Northeast, including the Mid-Atlantic, as a wave of low pressure tries to develop off the coast there. Doesn't really get that organized, but it's just going to dump a bunch of rain across New Jersey and Delaware on the 7th into the June 8th, which is Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And that system kind of just tries to get going as it moves up into the Gulf. If you remember, around Mother's Day, we had another storm system, the coastal low, that kind of did the same thing. It went up there into the Gulf of Maine and affected mainly the New England states, coastal New England especially. And that's going to do that again from the June 8th into the June 9th. Out here in the Pacific Northwest, remaining really unsettled into the 9th of June here. Well, lots of storms are going to be crashing into the west coast, especially the Rockies up there in British Columbia and Canada. Elsewhere, remaining stormy and unsettled across Florida, Chicago possibly getting some action as we go into the 8th and 9th of June, late next week. More storms across the southeast. Florida still wet. Looks like they're going to be wet down there for the course of the next week, which is great news for them. They need it because of the fire weather down there. Showers and thunderstorms continuing into the 9th and 10th of June. Mainly showers, and this is going to keep things cooler and wetter than usual. Continued into the 10th of June, which is basically a little over a week away. And as this pattern starts to evolve here with the storm track into the Pacific Northwest, this is more like something we see in the wintertime. And this is, or springtime even, and this looks like there's some snow here. This blue right here in the Sierra Nevada out here, including the mountains of Oregon and also the mountains of Idaho. There's some snow right here being output by this model, and it's just saying that this is going to be extremely unsettled and look a little bit chilly out there. But we expect that to be chilly in the mountaintops, but it's going to be not feeling like summer out there in the Pacific Northwest at all. And we can take a look now at our temperatures for much of the east here. Let's back the model up into this coming weekend here. Looking like it's going to be a little bit chilly up there in the northeast, eastern Pennsylvania, below normal temperatures this Saturday. Florida, for once, remaining below normal, and also Texas as we go into this Saturday. And into this Sunday, looking really, really chilly across northeast Pennsylvania, maybe even making its way down into Allentown as we go into the 4th of June here. And it looks like it's just going to remain chilly across much of the northeast into the 5th of June and into the 6th of June. As that coastal low gets going, it's going to be really, really chilly here across much of the northeast. The 6th of June, it's looking like it's going to feel like March, maybe even early March across the northeast, with the cold rain evolving on the 6th, 7th of June. Big coastal low here, hot out there in the northwest and the western part of the United States. Out west here, it's going to remain really, really warm up there. Warm up in the central Canada as well, as this is all just a big area of high pressure. Very, very below normal in the east coast. Very, very chilly into the 6th, 7th of June as that coastal low gets developed. And it looks like it's going to be almost cold here across much of the mid-Atlantic, northern Virginia, D.C., Philly, New York City. On the 7th, it's going to remain really, really, really chilly. Much below the normal temperatures here on the East Coast, and to compensate for that, we're going to have much above normal temperatures in the Pacific Northwest, which is going to be a heat wave out there. Could have some 90-degree temperatures out there in the Pacific Northwest over the course of the next week or so, and very, very, very below normal temperatures here from the southeast and the Texas and Oklahoma all the way up into Maine. And we're looking like temperatures here are probably going to be, they could even go down into the 50s during the day, and lower 40s at night could be the issue here across much of Pennsylvania. And the mountains here, the Appalachians, are looking like it's going to get really, really chilly. That continues in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th of June. The pattern continues out in the west where it's going to be a heat wave. Seattle turns a little bit chilly temporarily, but the rest of the mountains out here are going to be basking in the heat. And that's pretty much the same story, except they get a little bit chillier as more weather pummels the west coast and causes snow to outbreak in the mountains here. And that's why the temperatures are going to be below normal out there and continue below normal into the deep south and much into the mid-Atlantic and New England through the 10th of June. That's the story right now for this weekend. It is the 2nd of June, 2017. And that's your outlook for now. I'm meteorologist Mike Griffith. We'll be updating this back much more in a routine now. We're back into a routine. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and have a great day, everybody.